little turtle. His name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all my water, he ate up all my soap, and now he's got a great big bubble in his throat. Bubble, 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 bubble. Hi guys, my name is Wendy. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm sharing my experience working in childcare in the UK. So I have a bachelor's degree in education from Nigeria and a master's degree in education from the UK. But it took a while for me to decide that I was going to go into teaching or into education for that matter, because I had heard so many stories about, children behavior, how teachers are treated, even teachers getting bullied. I don't know. I heard stories. That's all I can say. Stories. Before I could even be considered as an educator, I had to do a DBS, disclosure and barring service, basically to see if you have any criminal records. Because once you have a criminal record, you are disqualified from working with children or vulnerable people. A typical day in my life as an early years educator, mornings you have to deal with drop-offs. Sometimes the children are very emotional. They don't want to see their parents leave. You have to take them, calm them down. What we usually encourage the parents to do was to bring the children in. Don't just drop them at the door. Bring them in, pour their cereal, whatever it is they want, and then give them goodbye kisses, and then you can go. It makes it easier for us as well. They settle in better that way. In both schools that I worked, their mealtime policy was that, the adults sitting on the table watching them have to eat with them to role model, healthy eating, good eating, because some children don't like eating. So the idea is that when they see you eating as an adult, they will also eat. But I couldn't, because look, I'm a Yoruba girl. I like pepper. I like spices. Don't tell me to come and eat mac and cheese or plain couscous and broccoli. How? When will it pass? It will not pass my throat. I'm sorry. It will not go down well. So I didn't eat, but I tried my best to encourage them however I could. But you see, that mealtime was a struggle for me because there were so many things I couldn't eat. But if it was like maybe snacks, sometimes they had like snacks or soup and bread, I would just have the bread, not the soup. I knew a lot of educators that would just eat whatever the children are eating, and then when they go on break, they just go and read a book or they just go sit somewhere. They don't bother to buy anything for break, which saves you money, but that's only good for you if you can actually eat and enjoy those foods. And then obviously after meal times, there's usually a lot of cleaning to do. Because of the independence now, one child has tried to scoop a spoon of something, but half of it has landed on the floor or half of it has landed on the table. Mealtime cleaning is always a lot. And because we can't afford for food to be on the floor or for food to be on any toys, because of allergies and like health concerns, we have to make sure that the cleaning is thorough. Then the next thing we will do is to set up activities. The early years sector in the UK is guided by something known as EYFS. The way each corner of the classrooms were designed is that they represent every area of learning. So you have building construction, sensory area, you have your reading corner, you have your arts corner, small world. Small world has like animals, different things. It was very rich, very interesting. I really loved being in those classrooms. I don't know. It was very stimulating for me. They made all the resources accessible to children. So all the shelves were like very little, children height, the bookshelves, everything was at the child's reach. So that if a child wanted to read a book, they don't need to call an adult to say, oh, bring that book for me. Everything that they need is within their reach. And that was very good because a child can tell you what they want to do. I've been just sitting down and then a child has gone to bring a book for me and it's like, here, read it. They don't say read it, but they just give it to you. And you know what they want. So it's very interesting to see children do things on their own. Sometimes we think that children don't really know what to do, or they can't really express themselves, or they don't know what they want. It's not true. Like, children can actually make choices if you give them the opportunity to do that. So we would always ask them, what do you want to do? Do you want to play with this? Should we go read a book? Do you want to sing? And even children that cannot talk will find a way to answer you. They will find a way to respond to you. Very interesting. As educators, we were encouraged to sit on the floor. So you have to be at the level of the children, not standing. As much as possible, don't even sit on a chair if you can avoid it, right? So sit on the floor with them. They have like carpets, pillows, blankets. It's so cozy. Like, people talk a lot about how, children in other parts of the world are very expressive, very bold. It's not by accident. It doesn't happen by chance. They don't just become that way. It is planned. From school, they are taught to express themselves. They are taught to express their independence. They will question you. They will ask you. They will challenge you. They will argue with you. It is encouraged. As a teacher, you should really know what you're doing. You should really understand what you're talking about, because when a child questions you, that's when you really know whether you understand something or not. If you want to work with children, you need to be ready for questions. You need to be ready to be challenged, especially from the toddler stage. And I think that this is something that we need to incorporate more in Nigerian schools or in the Nigerian education system. There's no reason why children should be afraid of their teachers. Like, why? Why? I keep saying there is no place for fear in education. Fear and education does not go hand in hand, because the whole process of education means that you will have questions, means that some things will not just sit right with you and you want to know but why? And as an educator, if you are tired of answering questions like that, then maybe you should not be an educator, right? A lot of times Nigerian children go through so much. Shut up. You are I too know. You are this, you are that. And then when they grow, they struggle. They spend years trying to get their self-confidence back. And then we'll see children that grow up abroad and we'll admire them for being so bold. But what do we do to our own children? So please, we need to have a rethink. Like, it is not a bad thing for a child to express themselves. Nobody is saying don't correct children. Nobody is saying allow children do whatever they want. But I'm saying that children's curiosity, children's inquisitiveness, or children being inquisitive should be encouraged. So we're in charge of setting up activities. So it could be painting, it could be something with sand, it could be something with water, whatever it is that you wanted to do. Sometimes we'll set up activities like that. And by the time you turn your head and turn it back, it's already messed up. And there were times that I'll get really frustrated, but at the end of the day, it's part of the job. The mess is part of the job. And I noticed that they don't respond to mess the way we do. You know, like Nigerians, we're like, you pour that water, you pour that sand, you know. They don't care. If you put water here and you put sand here, those children, they will carry the water to go and make the sand, or they will carry the sand to go and make the water. And they even have a term for it. It's called transferring. But you are like, you are spoiling my setup. You are spoiling. No. They don't respond to mess. So at the end of the day, they see mess as, yes, mess will happen. It's your job to clean it. If the children are old enough, mobilize them to help you. You know, so that was another, should I call it a shock that I experienced. One of my favorite activities to set up was Play-Doh. And we usually made our Play-Doh from scratch. So I learned how to make Play-Doh with flour, oil, water, and a bit of paint. Very fun to make and very fun to play with. It's very not slimy. It's just very squishy. I loved making Play-Doh. Most times, once I get to school, before I even think of any activity, I just Play-Doh. And the children love Play-Doh as well. Once you set Play-Doh on the table, the way they'll just gather like ants round it and start, you know, because you can form any shape, you can squeeze it, you can pull it. It's just there's endless things that you can do with Play-Doh. So that was one of my favorite things to do. I also used to make slime, like, you know, slime with like cornstarch. Is it cornstarch or corn flour? Corn flour, green, a bit of green paint, and then some other things, and it will come out so well. And the children loved it. They love messy play. I don't know. It's just something about children in early years. They love messy play. I also love baking with the children. So I'm someone that I used to have a bit of, should I say, phobia for baking. I thought baking was something that only professionals bake, or only, you know, special people bake. But literally baking with children, you see that there's no, baking is not that deep. So we would make different things like cookies, jam tarts. Did we ever make? We never made a cake. It was mostly things that are like cookies and biscuits that we make, because those are like easier. One thing I really love to do as well was painting. Painting is just so relaxing for me. Those were like my go-to activities: Play-Doh, painting. Oh my gosh. Because I also have fun when I'm painting. And it keeps the children engaged as well. I know a lot of children that like, you know, just to play with the paints. Some already start to show artistic tendencies at that age. Because when you see what they've painted, you're like, wait, what? It actually makes sense to you as an adult. So I really like painting. It was relaxing for me. Most times I'll be like, oh, who wants to paint? Na layo. Na me won't paint too. I'll not be like, who wants to? And the children will be like, me. I'm like, yes. So I'll set up painting and I'll sit with them and do painting. There have been times when I've painted things for children and they've taken it home, or their parents have seen it at school and be like, wow, this is beautiful. I drew something for a child. So it was a book character called Wiffy Wilson. I drew him on an A4 paper for a child and I gave it to him. He put it in his tray. And when his dad came, I was like, Dad, see? And Dad was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And he was like, oh, Ruth drew it for me. And then the dad was like, you have to sign it. So literally I signed my name on the drawing. Like, it was so cute. I really love art. I think I've always loved art. Even when I was in secondary school, I liked art. I remember the first time my art teacher noticed me. She had given us an assignment and I drew a marketplace. For some reason, I do my assignments at home, but that day I just said to do my assignments in school. So I drew it on my desk there, and people were walking past. I'm like, "Oh, Bokini, this is nice. This is nice." And then when I submitted it, she came to class like the next time, and she was like, "Who drew this for you?" And everybody was like, "No, nobody drew it for her. I was there when she was drawing it. I was there." And I'm wondering, like, what if I had taken it home? There's no way that woman would have believed me, right? But at some point, the woman just felt like I was not more serious, so she just stopped like paying attention to me. But I think that it's always been in me. I've always loved art, so it brought out that side of me again, that artistic side of me. I even recently got some paintbrushes and paint so that I can start painting again. Another thing I really loved about some of these schools was that they had what is called a sensory room or a pod. Basically, it's away from the normal classroom. They have like pillows, they have blankets, they have like, music and lights, colorful lights, so that if a child is feeling overwhelmed, they can just go in that part and just be by themselves, calm down, relax. At that age, singing really captivates them. It gets their attention. I don't know what it is about singing. So you will do a lot of singing. Singing to calm them down, singing to engage them, singing to make them happy or make them stop crying. They respond really well to singing at that age. So you're going to do a lot of singing, which I love personally because I'm a choir baby. So singing is something I actually love doing. So I enjoyed that part of the job as well. I absolutely enjoyed reading to the children, reading stories, even reading children's books. I would find myself being engaged as well in the books because the language is so hopeful. It feels like anything is possible. It gives us so much possibility, something that your adult brain cannot think about. Like our brains have now become so used to limitation because of challenges that we faced in life and just basically our experiences. So I really love reading children's books. It opens another side of my brain that I can't even explain. One thing though that surprised me, or not surprised, that made me laugh was every time I would see a book about Africa or an African child, it's like children barefoot, chickens in the background, hot houses. And I'm like, in 2025, okay, that time wasn't 2025, 2023, 2024, but like, really, guys, come on. Have you been to Lagos? Like, and I know that, yes, we have villages and other settings that do look like that. Even over there, they have the countryside as well, where there's like animals and stuff. But, to constantly portray that as the image of Africa is like, it's crazy to me. Every time chicken, every time barefoot children, every time children carrying basket on their head. And I'm like, come on. So I think this is a challenge to book writers, children book writers. I'm a writer myself. Like, if I ever get into children's books, let it reflect accurately, the state of Nigeria or whatever country it is that is the setting of the book, right? I'm just tired of seeing chickens and goats and all of that stuff in African books. Like, come on. We went to so many beautiful places that even me as a teacher, I was so happy. Like it was like a field trip for me as well, you know. And I remember teachers used to fight to go out because obviously not all the children will go. Not so for most of the outings, we take the children in batches. So if not all the children are going, then not all the teachers can go. So you see teachers scrambling for I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. It was nice to go on trips outside of school, even for the teachers as well. You take a break from the four walls of the classroom and you actually go into the reward. But those trips can be scary because some children, oh my gosh, it's a different thing when you're in charge of children within the school than when you're in charge of them outside. You just have to be very careful, especially when they're walking, when we have to cross the road. Ugh, I used to be a bit anxious, but I thank God that all the outings I ever went for, went very smoothly, went very successful. So we had this thing called forest school. Basically, we'll take the children, we'll wear these protective coats for them and wellies, and then they go into like a forest. Basically, they see animals. We have a guide that takes us around. They jump into puddles. It's like fun, but I didn't used to like going for it because look, I'm not a nature girly. Anything insects and mud, please count me out. Sitting on the grass, count me out. But funny enough, they would always send me, and I would just always try to make the most of the whole thing. But normally I would rather not, especially when it's rainy. Oh, it's so messy. But those children, they love it. They would jump in dirty puddles. But it's all part of learning. It's messy play, real world experience. I love that. Most times it's cold, right? But there's this thing where children always have to get their outside time. So they need to get that garden time. The only time we don't take them in the garden is maybe the rain is very heavy or, or maybe it's snowy and it could be a hazard. But normally, no matter how cold it is, we'll put on their coats, put on their hats, put on their gloves, and we'll take them outside. Oh gosh, during those periods, I used to be like, can we just leave these children inside? Like, I don't want to go outside because even me as an adult, I'm feeling very cold. I have to wear gloves. I have to, and you'll see these children running around. Some of them, you even be begging them to wear jackets. I didn't used to like going outside. In summer, it was fine, even though it is hot. But at least I think it's better to be hot than to just be cold, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, the kind of cold that gets in your sneakers, that gets in your shoes. Crazy. Like you would be out there. Sometimes you want to go back inside. They'll be like, oh no, we are still setting up the classroom for lunch, or we are still setting up the classroom for whatever. You can't come in now. And I'm just like, that was one of my least favorite parts, playing outside in the cold. Like I didn't really like it, but I agree that it is important for children to have that, outside time. Children have a lot of energy. They need to run around. Running around in the classroom is not safe because there's so many things that can go wrong. So I think, yes, it's better for them to be out in the garden, to run around and do whatever it is that they need to do. Some children are just like accident prone. I don't want to call them clumsy. They just get injured every time, and it's scary because once they get injured, you have to start writing a report. And most times they would go and watch the cameras, watch the CCTV to see if what happened to that child could have been avoided. Depending on how serious it is. So like going outside is always like it's a risk because one child will now fall or have a bump or something, and it's like it now falls on you, the teacher, to start writing reports, and explaining everything. And then when the parents come and pick up, you have to now explain, your child came to school, ill and hearty, but now they have a big bump on their head. Like, that was my least favorite part of everything, honestly. One beautiful thing about working with children is their hearts. Children are so pure and so innocent. And for a baby to choose you, or for a child to like you, it's just the best feeling in the world. There were two particular children, babies. Let me call them babies because they were babies. Like every time I would come into the room, they'll greet me with a smile. They were gorgeous. There's a particular one, she would scream like, ah! And all my colleagues will be looking at me like, what is the big deal, right? Very pretty girl. She looks like a doll. Like she would always welcome me with the most amazing smile. If she's crying and I just pick her up, she just keeps quiet. She just felt really comfortable with me, and it really melted my heart. Children are so delightful to be around, honestly. Working with children also reminded me of, how God loves us. This thing where you tell a child, don't climb that thing or you will follow, or don't put your hand there, it will hurt you, or something will happen, and they don't listen, and then that thing later happens to them, and they come to you crying. Normally you would think you want to tell them, oh, I told you, but when you see a child crying, like your heart just melts. Like you're only focused on making them happy, making them feel better, wiping their tears, and just helping them deal with that hurt. And it kind of reminds me of how Jesus loves us, how God loves us. Even the Bible says that, if you, as evil as you are, you know how to give good things to your children, like how much more your heavenly Father. Like, so when you're, you've strayed or you've done something and you feel like, oh, God will be angry at me, He's just waiting there like a teacher, like your father, waiting to embrace you, waiting to, heal you and just make you better. Now I'm going to read some of the letters. No, not letters, cards that I got from my children. Oh, my children. They're probably forgotten about me now. That's the crazy thing. Okay, so I've got my letters here. Not a lot, but I cherish them so much. This first one, look at all the cute stickers on it. And it even has a letter R. Oh my gosh, why did I never notice that? Okay. In the front, it says thank you. I'm not gonna say their names because safeguarding. Dear Ruth, that's what it looks like. So this is the child like scribbling on it, because obviously I think he was 3. They can't write yet. So, dear Ruth, thank you very much for making laugh all the time. He speaks about you all the time at home. Thanks for all your positivity. Take care. All the best. Dear Ruthie, thank you for being so much fun. I love you, Ruthie Fruity. Cuddles, can't say his name. So obviously the parents have written that part for him, but they used to call me Ruthie Fruity. So yeah, that was cute. Okay, the next one. What's this one? Thank you. Oh, so thank you. So thank you card, a different kind of vibe. Dear Ruth, thank you for all your hard work and fun activities. With love, all the preschool parents. Yeah, I can show you this one because no one's name is there. But yeah, that's from the parents. I think cards are really cute, honestly. And then we have this one. Oh, it's a little froggy. Thank you. Dear Ruth, Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication over the past months. We appreciate all you do so well and with so much care and good humor. They think I'm funny, guys. Dash is clearly fond of you, and we will miss seeing you on a regular basis. Love and thanks. Cute. Thank you. Oh, this one's from the people I got the job from. Okay. So Ruth, congratulations on your new role and good luck. All the best. La 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 la. Thank you. Um. Ooh, thank you. Guys, look at the Peppa Pig stickers. Oh my gosh, it's cute. And you see that thing they do? They let the child like just scribble because they can't write. It's so cute. Dear Ruth, thank you for your guidance and support this year. Love, blah blah blah, and family. Oh, my babies. Oh no. To think that they would have forgotten all about me is a bit sad, but I love them anyways. This one is not from a child, but it says good luck. Remember how I talked about how the workplace can be quite toxic, and if you are different or you just don't fit in, it can be very hard for you at work. But thanks to these two ladies, they made work fun, and I actually miss them. So Ruth, I loved working with you. I wish you all the best on your new plans back home. Can't wait to hear all about it. You will be missed. Look at them. Good luck. Hmm. I really like this card culture. Honestly, I could get used to this. Oh, you're leaving. This one was from my room, toddler's room. They gave me, and they wrote all of these wishes, which I'm not gonna read, but thank you. And this came with £40, so I can't even complain. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are doing well. I haven't heard from any of them in a while since I got back, honestly. But yeah, oh, memories. Life is just going by too fast. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Oh, and I added this card because this person gave me a Christmas card barely 2 months after knowing me. To Ruth, wishing you the best from blah blah blah. And I felt like it was really cute. I was surprised when she gave it to me because I'm like, you've only known me for how long? But yeah, that's the end of all my letters, guys. This definitely brings back a lot of memories, and a big lesson here is to just live in the moment. Don't wish any moment away, because eventually that moment will go away. So try to soak in every moment, be present, and yeah. In conclusion, I would say that working with children brought out my soft side, my creative side. you know even helped my spiritual life, my relationship with God. I always knew that I was going to end up in education, in teaching, but I was just never clear on what sector or the age or what I would be teaching. But going to the UK gave me a lot of clarity on that. And it's definitely going to the early years. And I can't wait to see like what the future holds for me in the early years space. It's definitely something that I'm looking forward to going into. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.